When there's no distance, there's also no location. We normally talk about here and there. When there's no distance, then there's no here or there. It's what is happening. So it isn't somewhere, it's everywhere. And we can't, even with the brain, we can't understand that because we are so used to a certain thing or another thing. And this is not talking about something solid and real. It's everything. So when there's a feeling, it's happening in space. It's not located. So it's not in the body, what we normally think. Feelings are happening in the body, it's inside. There is no inside, there is no outside, it's happening. Apparently.
So the body is nothing special, it's just a body like a sword or like a tree or like a window. Or
it's energetic and it's an appearance, so it's not real.
So, but it's, yeah.
It's
okay.
like the
like
tree or,
else,
yeah,
so
it's the same.
Just the character,
yeah.
just the
it's just that appearance.
Something special and says
no.
my body and
yeah.
all the sensations and feelings and pain and whatever. Or
Yeah, because we believe normally that what is human and inside this body and you, it's more important than trees or the floor,
exactly,
even the floor. What is that? But it's energy, so it's one.
But the me can't get it. For the me, it will always be like the own body or bodies or something special.
Yeah, of course. Because when that's me, then it's inside, like you see, like inside, and this is mine. And when there's me, there's something going on. I want to feel good, or it's important, or it's not even wanting, but it's important. So there's everything is going on about this is the center of everything, and I have to feel good. So there's all kind of ways of surviving and all that. This is the most important of everything. So. You can say like, yeah, we are all equal. No, this is the most important. Me is that. That's the center. So that's also, then there's meaning and importance. And we do everything about to feel good about yourself. Even helping is about wanting to feel good in a way, in the end. So and when that center there is no center, it's suddenly like, oh, what's going on? It's neutral. Nothing is more important than anything else. Can't be. It's the same importance. There's no, in that way, there's no difference. It's only different. You can also say that. Yeah. It's an appearance, so nothing is real. So there's nothing happening.
But it's very convincing the body is real, isn't it? Because I think I said it yesterday, I remember I jammed my finger, this finger on a door.
Yeah, yeah.
The pain was
sure.
Yeah. And I remember just like sitting down, probably a concept was like, okay, pain is happening.
Yeah.
It was cold morning as well, it was like, oh, this is really... Like you jam your finger. Have you ever done it?
Yeah, I know.
It's a serious pain.
There can be pain. It's full on.
The body was screaming at me.
No, there's
that
no
body
screaming.
Seems very real.
Yeah, but that's an assumption. There's pain, and because we believe that everything what's then the thumb or whatever it is a part of the body, so it's happening in the body. That's on top of that because we see it and. Well, it's paining. It's life paining, you could say, like. It's one. So it's not in the body.
But, you're saying it, if it happened to you, if it happened there with Rose, we just pain, yeah?
There's pain. It doesn't mean you don't, when you go to the... Yeah, but when you go to the doctor, you say, yeah, my thumb and all that. So, of course, there's the story and the brain still works and saying things. But when there's pain, but without anything else. It's pain. It's full on. Not in or out or whatever. It's pain. There's nothing trying to change it. It's not... naming it or anything else.
Your preference is, please go away fairly soon.
Yeah, but that's when there's me. Yeah. When there's no me, it doesn't arise. It doesn't mean it's nice for that, but there's no escape.
Would you have a hope saying, Jesus, fucking lay off, please?
No, there's nothing coming up. Okay. It's just not coming. I don't know how that works, but it's just not arising. Trying to change it or not wanting it or all that. It's just not arising. So that seems like nice, but in the other way, there's no escape from when anything, because that's full on. But it's no big deal because there's no choice. It's not in the mind. You think like, oh, there's no choice and all. It's just, no, that's not. That's only when we're talking about it. It's painful on, and that's it. Like a baby screaming, not knowing why or whatever. It's the same.
You don't call Jesus.
Sorry, that?
You don't call Jesus.
You don't?
Call Jesus.
Jesus? Oh, maybe. That can be.
Because that's what you said.
I know, when I grew up with Jesus.
Oh, yeah, but it can be a calling or saying something, yeah.
I grew up with religion, Catholic.
Yeah, that can be.
Jesus was very big in my family.
No,
yeah.
Not anymore?
Not for me.
Okay.
My family, yeah.
But you know, in the...
Yeah, there can be saying things, of
I
course.
think he's not there. Well, he was probably there at one stage.
Yeah.
He's not listening now, I don't think.
Yeah.
We are not religious and we call Jesus all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that can
name is
be.
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. When there's pain, there's Jesus, what's this? Oh, I think
That's funny, you don't say Buddha.
No.
No, we have to
Why is
say
Jesus so
Rosa.
popular?
Yeah.
I often wonder about that. Why people say Jesus rather than Buddha
I don't know.
in the story.
Yeah.
It causes me to doubt. Am I on the right track?
Yeah. Mm.
Rose?
Yeah.
Can you please explain what exactly is going to fall away? Because people are calling themselves with the names and we are responding to that name because that's me. Or sometimes we are lost in activities, working or something, and then we realize suddenly, oh, here I am, or something like this. It's not common, or you are not aware of that I am all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are lost and then we are realizing, oh, I am.
Yeah.
And is this what's gonna fall away? So after there is no I am? Or
no, there's no I am. No. Yeah.
After this, there is no I am.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's how it is.
That's the case, right?
Yeah. It's not thinking. It's not. It's a belief, but it's also no doubt. It's just not no issue anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just it's not arising. It's that. And that the story still goes on. So when there's calling a name and there's a response and all that, it's just energetic. That's going on. But that whole construct, like surviving and looking at it and looking at yourself and or the world or whatever, and then feeling like, what can I do about it because I don't like it and all that. That's not so much. That's not arising. It just stopped. Well, it's not falling away. For me, it was like, just in the story. It was like this was sitting and being busy with everything and thinking about it, and it suddenly stopped. And that was like, oh, what? Oh, it was so clear. Everything was so clear, and I jumped in. And that fell away, and after, I don't know how many minutes. So it wasn't, at that moment everything was so clear and that fell away, so I can't even remember what it was. And there was something also very obvious that me isn't real. But it was, when I was going outside and I was like It was so normal. I forgot it did happen or something like that. And then just walking around, and then suddenly there was some stress in the body, and I thought, like, maybe I told, but there was some stress in the body, and I like, oh God, me is back, because I was always thinking, me is that stress. Yeah, that's so, and that was so strong. So that, and then it just, I forgot. I thought I forgot, because then later on I was like, oh, I was busy with that, but I completely forgot. So I was thinking I forgot, because that's what we normally do. Then when something is not going on, you think I'm forgetting it. But it was just coming, and then there was nothing sticky or taking it home. And then I think after you could say now, the brain was still used to, oh, this is like that, oh, this is like that and that, but there was nobody taking it home or sticky or answering. So that then it fell away, and then it didn't arise anymore.
And was it me, or was it just stress?
It was just those thoughts. The stress can still, that's just what's going on. But there's apparent stress. There can be stress or
fear.
Whatever. Yeah, it's everything. So this is not different. This body is not different than another body. Or of course it's different, but it's not like, oh, I don't feel anger anymore. Yeah. Or, no, it can be everything. It's the same.
Yeah, the only difference is that there is not that sticky center anymore.
Yeah, trying to deal with it, trying to change it, all that, that doesn't arise. So there's no escape also, because that's what me doing, is trying to not feel the awful feelings, or we call it bad feelings in a way. It's not bad, but it's like, I don't like it, so I want something else. Yeah. And that's lost. There's no choice. So it's also no choice if it's something I don't like it or I like it. It's not so much. There can be talking about that, but not really. It's not serious. It's empty. It can be like, rather, I want to go inside because it's so cold. Maybe it's happening or not. It's not a big deal or something like that. Yeah. It's difficult to say, because we're so used to, how do you behave now, saying something like that. I don't know. It's already what's going on. It's different. There's no rule. It's everything. So there can be any names, Jesus or or anything. So I can't say. Nobody can say. But we're so busy trying to make it in a certain way, thinking that's possible. So it's not better. There's also no rose, but that's what we normally do also. Like sometimes asking questions about how do I do things or so. But there's no rose. That's what we think. There's this body, and maybe there's no one in it. But the body is also not real. Nothing is real. So there's this body, but there's nothing. It's an appearance. So there's nothing, and there can be all kind of words and anything. So there's only not knowing. It's already, but we try, and then there's this kind of construct, you could say, me. It's the feeling, this isn't right, I am not enough, and there's it's an energy like that. There's nothing, it's also life, of course, but it's coloring everything in that this is not enough.
And seeing that there is no distance, that there is no time and no center, it all comes with with the shift, with not
Then
seeing,
it's very
with
obvious.
no one there.
Yeah, then it's very obvious. It can also be like moments then it's suddenly, oh yeah, really? Oh yeah, there's no time. And then you forget and it's like going. So it doesn't need to be only in that, after the shift or whatever you call it. Because it can be gradually, you could say in the story. There are moments that suddenly there's no direction and then it's suddenly woof, and then it's like an awakening for a moment. There's no me and it's very obvious, and then it's
So there's like
me
losing
coming back.
orientation.
Sorry, Dad?
Is there some kind of loss of orientation for a moment? For
No, it has nothing to do with orientation.
Well, if there is no distance and no
There's walking. There's not even walking, but because there's not going somewhere. There can be walking, of course, but there's not going somewhere. It seems like that because there's always a comparing with something else. So you see like, oh, I'm moving because that's still, and I'm moving, so I'm moving forward. It's a comparison with that. But the brain can abstract, so that's still happening. That still goes on. But it's empty. It's not serious. So they're still seeing distance. That's the same in that way. But also, in the same time, there's not. Yeah. But don't bother about that, because it's not important to think like, oh, how does it go and all that. It doesn't
Well,
matter.
it's fascinating
Oh, it's fascinating.
for me.
Yeah, that can be.
That brain, I remember your story in the train station, yeah? And you felt you were walking along the platform.
Yeah.
People going through the concrete.
Yeah.
That brain seen that, yeah?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I haven't had that experience. I'd like it. I'd like to have it.
Yeah. It was such a fear coming, but it was so free, and that I thought, where's that solidity? Because it felt too much. It can also be, I don't know, that was here.
And I remember you telling me, because I rang you about it I heard you on YouTube saying it, and I rang you and I said, and you said you rang Tony, and he said, don't worry about it, it happened.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was also the thing that when I was in the garden, then the body was.
But you said it was on a train station, yeah, on a
but that
platform.
okay, it doesn't matter.
I don't know the story.
But it doesn't. I called
Please.
Tony in that other moment, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Because it's just you're getting used to it.
I love those stories for some reason. I don't know.
But you're getting used to it because it's not always like feeling like I'm working through it or not. Sometimes it can, but it's no big deal.
But normally it's just very simple, just walking.
Yeah, there's walking. There's nothing busy with how there's walking, and suddenly there can be that feeling. But it's no big deal or not.
It can happen a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but
Can it happen a lot for Rose now?
yeah, but maybe or not.
Okay.
I don't care. That doesn't matter. Nothing is real, but there's no need to see it or not to see it. It's not being busy with it. But when there's always everything is solid, and the streets and the station and the body and all that, and then suddenly it's not. That's a bit like, oh my God, what's going on? Of course. Yeah.
But I think there's a period like what's happened here is I heard all these stories of like it's a kind of an openness to maybe my mind hasn't been open enough, you know what I mean?
Oh.
And I'm just like letting myself think, okay, maybe Rose can walk through concrete. And maybe it might happen to me as well. Or,
No.
you know what I'm
No,
saying?
it's not like that. Yeah, but it's no big deal. Has nothing to do with being open or not
when I hear
open.
it, I get totally intrigued by it.
Yeah. But when there's that me going on, there will always be that feeling I'm not good enough, and maybe she is, and I don't have this, and it jumps on
When I get
that.
that experience.
Yeah, when I get that experience, maybe I feel more free now. It's the same story of me, because it's comparing with somebody else, and you think she's better than me. No, it's
But
not.
I'm not really thinking that. I'm just thinking, okay, maybe I'm just not seeing what's happening
But it's different. Everybody's different. So this is just stories. And then it can happen so completely different.
For everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing is better than something else.
Oh, yeah.
Or more open or
that.
all that. No.
But there is something in that working, as Tony Parsons explained in that book, The Open Secret, when he was walking through the park, and he was that walking. Every step was unique.
Yeah.
And then if you focus only on that activity, then the whole thinking process can stop, maybe.
Or not, yeah. Well, do you think we want that? That's why sometimes that can fix, like, oh, I can do it maybe in some way, and and then there's the trying, like doing the same thing. No, it's not like that, because it's suddenly a moment that me isn't there. It's suddenly like that. It's a shift. It's like that, and that's energetics. That has nothing to do with that circumstances. It hasn't. But it seems like that because we want to have something to do, or
we think we can do it.
Yeah, we want that too. So maybe if I do that, I can.
You're right. It could be
so then,
anything.
And it's just stories. It's just not important. That doesn't matter. It doesn't need to happen anyway. There can be people, and there's nothing happening like that, and suddenly there's that whole construct, like, oh, being busy with that, it's just not there anymore. It's not even noticed. There can be the farmer and everyone. It's so normal that it doesn't need to have those experiences. Or it's not an experience, but those moments.
Yeah, it's probably happening to really a lot of people out there. They just don't know what it is, maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, what was it?
Yeah. And it's very easy going. What is noticed is then there's not much complication, it's just easy going. But it's so normal because there's nothing busy trying to change it, being busy, why is this or what? And when somebody asks him, I don't know, it's just normal. So it doesn't feel, when there's, sometimes when I'm doing Zoom meetings, and before the Zoom meeting I'm like, oh my God, the whole day is just, there's not so much happening, I don't know anything, I don't know something about, there's no me and how that, so I had a lot of times I was sitting there and I was like, what shall I talk about? I don't know I don't know what to say. I'm just sitting there, and I really, before the meeting, I tried to start already in the head, so like something. Then nothing was coming, and I was like, oh my God, I just living just in a simple way. What do I have to tell? And then suddenly there's a meeting, or there's people around, and there's something going on, and then they're starting that. So it's not even mine. There's no knowing. Yeah.
No preparation in advance.
But it's also, it has nothing to do with Rose. Now that's what we normally think, that it's Rose or something. No. There's nothing to do with, there is no Rose. There is it's from nothing. And it's everywhere. It's that too, of course.
You just want to believe there is somebody, but it's the same case everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's such a embodied. It's so embodied, that belief. It's most of the time it isn't questioned, and sometimes it is. It's a bit like, oh. And then there's just, this is more like shaky, because all those concepts, beliefs are not so strong anymore, or normal anymore. Like, oh, there can be a question about that. I never questioned it, and then, oh, what's going on here? So it's losing control, and that it feels like that because there never was. Well, it's more like we believe a lot of things, and then finally it's like, oh, it never was like that. Oh my God. And then something like that. Yeah. And it's no big deal. It's very simple life. It's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Just not knowing why.
When you're asleep at night, you go to sleep, yeah? Do you sometimes see things happening in your dreams or...
There can be dreams, yeah.
That's another story, yeah?
That's also a story. There's being, there's living and watching television and dreaming about it. Yeah, yeah. There's no meaning in dreams also, so but during the day, it's the same thing.
What you're saying, like said to us now, is that dream we have when we're lying in bed is the same dream we're having right now, yeah?
Yeah. It can be. Yeah, it's just an appearance of things moving. Happening? Yeah. Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, because we think like this isn't real, but this is real. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're lying in bed and you think, see, the thing about you're lying in bed, we know we're doing nothing. We're having this story.
Yeah.
So you have this kind of cognitive dissonance going on.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this dream, but it's still happening.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of evidence to say that, to me, it's like evidence of exposing the delusion. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it can be, or it can be just a knowing of what's going on. Yeah.
Well, if you're lying in bed, you're not doing anything, so you can say to yourself, okay, I'm doing nothing, but there's a big story going on here. I wake up and I had a dream last night, I was being chased.
Oh yeah.
I was running.
Oh yeah.
And then I woke up. Okay, and then I thought, okay, it's just a dream.
Yeah. This is also just a dream. But there seems to be something happening, because we live in time, so the brain fills in the gaps when there's nothing, just not moving. And then it's a dream too, that there's real life of you and me and people and other countries. It's a dream.
Amazing.
That's what apparently is happening, bodying, flooring.
So all the physical laws, like gravity, for example.
Yeah, in the story,
also story.
Yeah. You drop a stone and it falls down. Yeah. So what? Yeah.
So what?
And then trying to find out why and all that.
It's very important.
Yeah. Because then you can feel more comfortable, or it's always about feeling I'm the center, and I want to know because that makes me feel in a certain way. There's no one, so there can be that physical law. Yeah. There's no meaning. It's just that what's apparently is happening. Not for anyone. There is no one.
So, like, living in the cave is the same as living in this beautiful apartment. Yes. It's just the me that thinks it's important to live in an apartment and not in the cave anymore.
There's a difference, of course, but that's it. Well, we make it in the story like living in an apartment. They're sitting. That's everything. There's a room. That's it. It's not for me. Maybe it's cold. Can be. And that's what's happening. There's no escape. There's nothing going on. That it doesn't mean it's like, oh, trying to go somewhere to get warm, or I don't know. That can happen. But there is not someone. We are so into like this body is real and there's someone in it and there's a life and we do something and there's the whole story. It's a dream. There is no story. There is no me. It's singular. It's a cup of tea. That's everything. It's not I am holding a cup of tea. Yeah, in the story there can be all that. There's a cup of tea. Oh, it's nothing more than that. But it doesn't mean that you're the whole day, it's like a cup of tea. It's living like that. No, it's just because there's no, in that way, the story still goes on. They're still walking and talking about America or anything. So in that way you think like, I don't see a change. But the only change is that there's no one. It's not like noticed like all the time there's something going on. That whole trying to change it, it's just not arising. But everything is just going on. It's already like that. So it's already, the only thing what's not there is like, oh, this is not enough. How can I make it enough? Oh, maybe. That's not going on. That's just an extra thing which has no power, it's just completely useless, but we think it's the most important. It's not, it's just nothing. It's a dream. And when that's lost, there's nothing lost, because it was already like that. So that's why also, there's also saying, it's already complete. Like that whole construct, it's like, no, it's not, because I feel like I'm seeing it this, and it's all the time doing like that, or doing something like that. There's a lot of thoughts going on. It's so energetic. It's not you doing it, but it feels like, oh, I'm doing that, I shouldn't do this, and what can I do about it? There's a lot of complication about that. How should I behave? How should I do? Oh, he is so much better. What does he do? Or all the stories about that. When that's lost, nothing is lost. That's so crazy. It's just everything is going on. Walking, going to a shop, drinking coffee, talking about America, everything. It's just the same. We try to, because we think like, oh, this is awful, this life, and oh, maybe I want to live in a bigger house and all that. And then, oh, maybe when that me isn't there, maybe it's getting more easy, and then I go into something else. No, of course not. It's the same. But there's nothing going on like this is right or wrong or awful or nice or I want something better. Or that's the only thing. But it's huge, of course, because that's coloring everything. So it's very easy and simple. There's no control. Well, there was already no control. So the only thing is lost, the idea or the belief, there's control and I should do, that's lost. But that was already not real. But the belief that it is real, that can be so strong. It's not only in the mind or head or whatever. It's embodied. It's so strong. It's useless. When there's no one, there's also no choice, of course. There's no choice. No free will already. We think, yeah, I have to choose. Oh, what can I choose? What is the best? Oh, I have to be busy. Do you know what is the best? And all the things are going on about that. Yeah? There is already no choice. So that's not wrong. It's just also, it's also energy, so there's nothing wrong with that too. It's going nowhere. Well, it's useless. Well, can be. Yeah. Yeah. You can't say to yourself, oh, now I know this is all useless, so I don't pay attention to it anymore, or I don't. That can be the next thing that we do, like and then it's endless because there's a new thing going on, like that. What I did is useless, so I shouldn't do that. That's the next one. Of course, there's no one, so there's no choice, and there's nothing wrong with being busy with all. Why shouldn't you? It's just being busy with that. Yeah, can be. Some people are doing that, and it's just energy. Life doesn't care. No, it's everything. So there's being busy with and there's walking. So what? There's nothing going wrong. No, it's just energy.
Losing energy for something might happen, although it's like suddenly you're not so much into things you were into before, or not.
Losing interest in
losing
things.
interest. Or,
yeah, that can be. Yeah, that can happen. Yeah, because that really, this is important. It's not so much that can be.
No.
That loss. That is a way. It's a loss in that sense. You could say it's a. Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I'm gonna say now is related, but it has to do with the body somehow. Because when I was young, I was into sport and I was into running, and I remember one time I was not running. The body was running me.
Yeah.
And it was like just a happening.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what's happening?
Yeah.
I'm just running.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like I was like, okay, I unplugged. No, it was not even needed to unplug because the body was still doing things.
Yeah. Well, it's like that. Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
It was a great ride.
Yeah. You can call it an awakening, because that sudden moment, it's like there's no me, there's just running. It's just that. It's like that. And because it's new, it's different as what we normally used to, then it's like, oh, what's going on? But in a way, it's like, it's so easy. It's like, oh. Yeah.
Well, the fact that you were running, it was like impressive. Maybe you're watering the plant, it might be some impressive.
It can be, but it's the same.
You're like Olympic runner. The knee builds it up. Running is impressive, like it's physical. I mean, be the fastest runner. But if you're watering a plant, it's like, oh, that's like boring.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's still the same energy.
It's the same. But I can be watering the plants. Watering the plants, and suddenly there's no one watering the plants. It's just.
Yeah, but running looks more impressive, doesn't it?
It's the same.
To me, thinks, oh yeah, maybe I get an Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
He's got an Olympic gold medal.
Sand water.
Special water.
No, there's a lot of it sports, then there's no one, because I think that's what's also being very nice, because there's not being busy with, oh, what can I do or not. No, there's running, there's not so much else going on.
It's like, like Donald Trump, he's the best president in the world, or whatever. I just see to me he's so good at making himself look good. Like.
I mean, he's always busy with trying to feel good in one way or another.
And there's no difference between Donald Trump and us. I mean...
There's no Donald Trump.
Yeah, but we are not. We are not us. But usually people say it's wrong with Donald Trump, but they see how wrong is Donald Trump, but they are the same. You know, the
Yeah,
people
but that
usually,
doesn't
even
matter.
from non-dual speaking, for example, they say, okay, this is no good, he's no good, but they are the same.
But saying that it's no good is the same, like
Yes.
it's no good
And
and
they say there is
Yeah, of
there is
course.
no one, but Trump is here, you know, and he is how to say so. He's so big ego, or how to say. But it's the same. If there is
Yeah,
an
yeah,
I,
yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's me or Trump or.
Yeah, there's a difference. Well, that's it.
I
There's
know,
no
different
meaning in it.
body.
Yeah, there's
looking,
nothing better
yeah.
than
But
something
nothing
else.
is better.
No. No.
So-
No. Because nothing is real. It's an appearance, so it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not about something.
I
It's
have no
just
problem. It's Trump.
table.
But apparently the me kind of has this thing about entertainment, and it's like Hollywood, and
Mm.
I think
the me can be better
the me
than someone
loves
else.
to jazz things up a bit.
Yeah, being busy and complication.
Yeah.
It's nice because I can find out how and be and doing. It's very well. Seems very important because then it's going. Yeah, it's going, and then it's boring when it's about nothing. It's boring.
You're
but
just sitting in
because,
a seat
Yeah,
doing nothing.
yeah. It's not about doing nothing. This is not about doing nothing. That's another
Yeah.
game.
But I see that nothing is just sitting, or it could be winning the Olympics, or it could be winning the American elections, or it could be feeding some guy on the street. It could be doing anything.
Yeah, it's everything. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, yeah.
It has no agenda, like.
No.
It's just what's happening. Okay.
It's singular, so it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no meaning. Yeah.
Then it gets a bit tricky because you have preferences. Like, I'd rather be listening to Donald Trump talking shite than looking at some guy on the street. You know what I mean? It's yeah.
Yeah,
I've got
but
to be
it
very
can be.
blunt about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but when there's me, there's always this is better than
It's a
something
preference.
else. Yeah, but there can be we call it preference because it's I like it more. That gives me a better feeling or something. In the end it's something about me, how to feel.
It's still the me energy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's in that way. It's
But what,
Stri-
yeah, sorry.
yeah, it's different.
It's dark.
It doesn't matter.
But what is different now when we talk about this topic? If I ask you, do you prefer tea or coffee? And now you say tea or coffee, maybe you know. And if I ask you, do you like more Harris or Trump?
Oh yeah,
It can be the same.
Yeah, there can
quick
be an
question,
answer, but
and
it doesn't
you don't
mean
need to take care so much of them.
no,
But
it doesn't
still-
mean anything. There can be an answer.
Yeah, so-
What is it?
But is it
Yeah.
the same preference like with this coffee, for example, that you say even you don't know anything about them?
Yeah. It's what's arising, so
Yeah.
there can be that. It's
So-
empty. Everything
yeah.
is empty, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not
It doesn't
serious,
matter.
it's empty.
Yeah,
It's an
so if
appearance
the people
of
say, I
that.
prefer this, it's
Yeah.
it is. If people
Yeah.
say, which are you preferring, and you say, I prefer Harris,
Yeah.
this is what's happened. And
Yeah,
has
it's
no
what's
any-
happening. It's what's happening. There's
Yeah.
no meaning.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
importance in it.
Yeah.
No.
You can't change anything.
No, there's no. But it's meaningless. So it doesn't matter. There can be like talking about that. It's empty. You can talk about anything. Yeah.
But
I know.
apparently, at the moment in America, Trump has like wiped the slate. He won the election. They couldn't believe it. I follow American politics a lot. He's like wiped this. He's just. He's up there now, way up there. Trump.
Yeah, but that's a story. It's
Yeah.
information. Yeah. Yeah, it can be there. Can be a
So
story.
my point is like what Monica is saying. Your preference between Harris and Trump. But 80% of Americans chose Trump for some reason, and the rest of the world couldn't
But
believe it.
nothing is happening. This is a story. There's nothing happening, so there's no elections. It's making it into there's something happening there and there's a preference and all that. It's a story.
Mm. The story is right now that the Trump bandwagon is, or the Trump train is full on, steam on.
It's also a
Trump
story.
train is fucking flying.
It's the same story, like for example, we spoke before, you explained to us when you were in Vietnam, you know, and you explained how was it, so it's the same story, like if now you speak about Trump.
Yeah, it's
and
just information.
And I spoke what I did with my son, for example, yesterday, it's just talking about, in the story about something, but actually
it's just a story.
It's just a story.
And then it's gone.
It doesn't mean that it's happened or
no, no.
The Trump train is going to crash.
No, there's nothing happening. It's an appearance. It's
this is
just
what is the worst to, you know. But it's interesting, usually people are focused to one thing, you know, so for them, for example, this is okay, but this is not okay, but it's all the time the same.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening.
But
It's
for
an
people
appearance
matter,
of things.
For people matter everything.
Yeah, because we think it's a story and there's something happening, it's going somewhere.
Yeah, and for
And
some
we
people
should
important
do
this story,
some-
for this story, and now,
And it's happening to me because I'm feeling awful when that is happening.
Yeah. So
There's
it's
feeling.
collective story.
There can be a feeling, but it's not because of anything.
So we even make a collective story, or how to say?
Yeah, but that's also a story.
I know that it's story, but because we believe that there are other people, so we have together, for example, stories that we are Czech people. We live in Czech, but even this is story.
Of course, there's no Czech.
So we have just private story, collective, government, or how to say.
Yeah, it's all the time making it into something because we feel like there's that separation. So there's something like, this is not enough. How can I feel that love? I feel alone. I feel not like loved again, or I need to be in all Czechian people. Yeah, I'm part of that. I'm part of that group. Oh God, I'm part of that group, and it's all that. It's trying to find being together, or being loved, or being free, or all that, because that's a feeling of loss of all that, and it's never enough because it's not always, or it's maybe for a moment, and so there's a search, and then there's making like, but you have attacked me, and then it's just a story. It's just a story.
Because the I is separate and all time try to be part of something.
Yeah, and it's looking in the story for an answer.
Yeah.
But there's no answer. Same thing. But it's coloring. When it's coloring, that there's nothing. I'm not enough. There's something not really. It's not enough, or I'm dissatisfied. All that. It's coloring everything. So I see it in that way. So and then hearing it's already complete. It's like, how is this possible? Because that's completely out of the story. So this is it can be such a strong message because it's really destroying that whole story, which we are so attached and really identified in.
Because everything is about story for people.
Yeah.
And we only looking why to change our behavior.
Yeah.
But this is completely opposite.
Yeah.
Everything is same, but there is no you.
Yeah.
And it's
and there's no separation. Yeah. There's nothing happening.
It's crazy.
It's and in the same time it's everything. Yeah. So it's not only there's nothing happening, because that people think too sometimes. It's everything. But it's an appearance of everything. It's like pain can happen, or it's not my pain. It's not happening in the body, but pain can arise. Yes, sure. But pain is an appearance of pain, and it's not happening. God, it's amazing. Doesn't mean it's less. No, of course not. The strange thing is, and that's what this is all about. There's nothing, when there's nothing trying to change it, when that's full on, and there's nothing being busy with it, it's suddenly like, oh, it's alive. It's not like just the floor, yeah, what is about the floor? It's aliveness, it's just that, oh, God. So there's something else too, and that's, you could say it's more on the background, when there's so focused on what's going on, and it's just, it's the only thing there is, but there's focusing on, I should do this, I should, being busy with that. And suddenly that's not there, and it's suddenly like, oh, of course it's the floor. Oh! Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is, it's the only thing there is. God, yeah.
There is, this maybe maybe you already answered it, but it is like, there is nobody sharing this, no? And no, and there is no kind of pull or kind of, how do you say it? It's maybe a response to something that this talking is happening here, or
you could say it's a response. Yeah, well, it's when you talk in the story. Yeah.
Okay.
There's sound, and then there's sound.
Yeah. No, because when somebody, I don't know, there is no somebody, but a lot of sharing is happening kind of in the world, no? Oh, yeah. I seen the light, or I convinced about something, and then sharing is happening. We have all these Christian directions, like they are missionaries, or they share the message and all these things. And I don't know why I came into that, but it's happening a lot. Even on the streets here, you meet people, they want to share what they believe in. I don't know why I came into that.
There can also be a sharing. There's something is falling away, and then suddenly there's a sharing about that. And then it's suddenly like, it's suddenly what you said about the running. It's suddenly like, and then it's, it's also in the story, things, we talk in the story, of course, also.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's this, and then there's a sharing about what, there's something else going on. It was like, yeah, of course.
Even though I don't feel this message is about convincing, but the other messages is more like, they want to share something because I found the truth, and then you should, listen to me, I found something.
But this is, you could say this is a sharing, but there's no agenda.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
This is a sharing, this is not like saying this is the truth or something like that. This is sharing of, how is it here, and then there's this coming out, and then there can be people wanting to listen, something like that. But it's very obvious, it's not giving anything, it's not being busy with if people hear it or not hear it. I don't know. There is no one, so there's talking, and just going, or not, silence. Yeah.
I remember, it's going way back, I think Tony mightn't say it now, but Tony Parsons.
Yeah.
He was in California in 2004, it was Napa, California, I don't know if you've seen it. And there was some guy got up, and Tony said to him, we're all like divine puppets. And he said, that divine puppet is standing there.
Yeah.
No, he was all talk about his gurus and all that, and Tony said, can you see as a divine puppet there is nothing to do? And the divine puppet said, oh what, Tony, that's all I wanted to hear, there's nothing to do. It's like the exposure you're talking about.
Yeah, the exposure of a lot of ideas.
Puppets apparently, or
yeah.
But I think the message of exposure is there's nothing for these divine puppets. These divine puppets are powerless.
Yeah. But it's not even, I think he said that, maybe he said that like that. But the body isn't real, so it's not even a puppet. It's just, the body isn't real. So that it's just energy. So that can be seeing the body, and that can be there or not there. It's not, nothing is constant. That's crazy, because then there's just energy, and we think, yeah, but this is this body, and there's that body, and that's constant because this is a whole day there, and no, it's not. That's
the divine puppet is probably still.
There can be, there can be, yeah.
But the fact is, there is no divine puppet.
That's the freedom. It's an appearance of. There can be a body or street or feeling, but it's singular.
There's nothing special, though.
No, nothing is special, but it's not about someone or not someone. It's not about a body that can be like, this is a body without someone. No, it's not like that. The body isn't always there. No, nothing is always there. It's an appearance.
It just feels like it or whatever.
Yeah, it's the belief, because I exist, so I have to be always there. Otherwise I can't exist. So that's the threat of that I exist, in a way, in the identification with that. It's huge.
It's convincing. It feels very convincing or whatever.
It's very convincing.
It can feel convincing that the body is real. And
yeah, sure. Of course. That's. I had I can see that maybe that this isn't real, but the body, I was never thinking that could be not real. Well, how could you? Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the freedom, because that's also a lot going on about the body, how to take care, what to do, feel I safe, and there's so much going on, health.
Eat right.
Maybe. Yeah, everything is then important, or I should do this, or maybe that. The freedom is, it's already what's happening. You can be busy with it. There's nothing wrong or right with anything. Well, it's going by itself. It's not the body is choosing. The body isn't real. Nothing is choosing.
It appears that, say, if you drink alcohol, it appears to like get drunk, or if you smoke drugs, it appears to get high.
Yeah.
Or if you
but it has
work
no
hard
meaning.
all day, it appears to get tired.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
and a lot of
very
ideas.
convincing.
Yeah, but a lot of ideas, and maybe on top of that, I shouldn't do that, or maybe it's good, or maybe it's, I feel good, and all that. It doesn't, there can be, it doesn't matter. It's meaningless, because it's no continuation, it's that what is apparently happening. It's an appearance.
Yeah. Fucking.
It's like,
those obstacles.
It was so obvious.
That is amazing.
that's the freedom.
I love it.
Yeah. No rules. There are no rules.
Anarchy.
What?
Anarchy.
Anarchy. Yeah. Yeah.
You're anarchist.
I'm reading the title of your book. It says Wondrously Free. And I'm connecting also with my kind of search also, the freedom, no? It's like a word, and I remember also I had a session with an astrologer, and he was reading my star signs, and he said, like, you are obsessed with freedom, he said to me. You want even to be free from freedom. and also back to Jim, no, I think I heard Jim Newman, he also, how did you get into this? Yeah, he was into freedom. You know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Andreas Müller has a book, no, You Will Never Be Free, the title is.
Oh yeah. That can be too. Yeah.
So that's also a good title.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's already also.
Yeah.
It's the only thing there is, the freedom. And we think it's about feeling free.
Exactly.
That can be confusing, because it's not about feeling free. It's about, it's everything. When it's everything, then it is free, because there's no rule about this is better than that or something. It's already this. So it doesn't matter what it is, it's everything. So that's the freedom, that it's everything. When there's that separation, and we are so like, this is better than that, and it should be like this, and then it feels a bit like in a prison, and I don't feel free. I have to, what can I do about to escape this endless battle about, I don't feel free and what's going on. And then there's here, but there's already no prison. It's everything. It's also tension, or feeling, or it's everything. And it's not about you, because we are so busy with it has to be in this body feeling in a certain way. It's it's the floor, or this leg, or a feeling. It has nothing to do with you. That's the freedom. There is no you. Maybe we can already have a break, because it's already like that.
Okay.
It's a bit like